4 disturbing Wikipedia pages. When we think about a perfect go-to site for getting information on anything, Wikipedia is the first name that comes to our minds. It's like a place where you could get information on pretty much everything. Whether it's a person, some place, or any special occasion, Wikipedia will give you authentic information about it. Wikipedia always seems like a likable place with negligible negativity, but have you ever heard about Wikipedia pages that might even snatch your sleep? They do exist because Wikipedia is known for covering everything. Everything means everything. Today, we've got some same sort of Wikipedia pages, and exploring those stories could get too worse sometimes. Hold on to yourself, as we're about to get into them. Carl Tanzler. If you search this name on Google, a Wikipedia page will appear on the top. Once you open it up, you get the story of Carl Tanzler. You'll get shocked since this first statement, and it keeps getting worse. Carl Tanzler was a German-born radiologist who was born in 1877. Worst thing about him is that he kept a corpse in his house for 7 years. In 1931, when Carl was working at a hospital in West Florida, a tuberculosis patient named Helen Milagro came out under his observation. Helen was a 22-year-old Cuban-born American lady. Carl fell in love with her beauty. He'd shower her with jewelry and gifts, but she never responded back at him. Tuberculosis was considered a lethal disease those days, as there was no cure for it. So, on October 25, 1931, she couldn't keep her breath and died because of it. But the real story starts from her death. After 2 years, in 1933, Carl dug her body out and brought it home with him. As a radiologist, he was used to staying away from his family, all alone in his house. After cleaning Helen's corpse, he preserved it with chemicals and started to live with it. He'd dress her up, clean her, and even celebrate his occasions with her. You could imagine how badly he was obsessed with Helen. He tried to keep it a secret from everyone else, but later his relatives and friends sensed a huge alternation in his behavior. So they went to the police to get something out of it. When police raided his home, they found the corpse of Helen after 7 years. After this, he moved to Pasco County. If you think the story is done, you're wrong. After moving there, he made an effigy of Helen by using a death mask. It's said that he somehow got remains of Helen and he used it in manufacturing an effigy. He stayed with it till death, and some people even believe that his dead body was found in the arms of Helen's effigy. After decades of his death, in an article in 1982, a statement was featured in which Carl was explaining the reason behind his obsession with her dead body. Carl writes, "She died because I gave this to her mercifully. I mixed the root of wolfsbane, monk's hood, with aconite diluted. It was palatable, and my loved one departed this miserable world on October 25th, 1931. Suffer no more, sweet Elena. I have sent you to the angels with my golden elixir." We could conclude that Carl couldn't afford seeing her in so much pain, so he murdered her, thinking it will ease her life and she'll enjoy it in heaven. Sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis, or night hag, is a situation in which the body stops working while the person is about to sleep or wake up from it. It means he's not in actual sleep but can't move or utter anything. There's no actual cause behind it, as it could occur any time without being influenced by anything. It's believed that there's an episode of demonic possessions in the person. This attack could last for as long as a few minutes to several hours. According to the sufferers, it's a situation of great fear as they feel like they're having hallucinations. It's a series of events in which they might see terrifying creatures and demons while being bound to suffer through it all. They could even smell or sense fear and the phantom. The sweat on their faces during these attacks shows how intense these could be. The biggest reason behind its appearance on Wikipedia is that it's been an integral part of history, as it's being continuously reported since eternity. Its association with demonic possessions makes it a creepy mystery. H Holmes. I know this name sounds like a relative of the Holmes family or a character out of some movie, but he isn't. But I'm sure one hell of a scary documentary could be made about him. Dr. Henry Howard Holmes was born in America in 1861. He was a con artist by profession and a serial killer by obsession. His way of murdering people was different from others, as he loved to torture them and even tear them apart alive. He was the main subject of more than 500 cases in Chicago only. a real-life serial killer combining his obsession with his delusional magical tricks in real life. His way of murdering people was too traumatizing that he's still renowned as the Beast of Chicago, America's first serial killer and the torture doctor. He chose his dark life and was involved in evil practices like frauds, check forging, illegal marriages, stealing horses, and above all, killing people. To keep killing people silently, he came up with the idea of starting a hotel in 1889. People would come there to stay and end up getting killed by the torture doctor. The hotel was renowned as a castle, as it had secret passages and hidden rooms, while some of them were even soundproof and airtight, so no one could have an idea about the missing people. He even had a secret drugstore so he could intoxicate people while doing experiments on them. He would use multiple ways to kill them. He would hang them or suffocate them to death. Sometimes he even stretched their bodies until they tore apart. He even killed multiple people by tearing off their skin and cutting their body into small parts. This shows that he wasn't only obsessed with killing like a normal killer, he was actually addicted to their screams. He would enjoy the sight when a human was completely helpless in front of him and begging for mercy. That's what he actually enjoyed. Finally, after 5 years of this hotel's opening, his secret came in front of the authorities. He was charged with a first-degree murder conviction and was hanged. In 1896, this dark passage finally came to an end. It's said that he confessed for 20 murders, while the actual number is above 200. No wonder that he's the deadliest serial killer I've ever heard about. He reflects America's dark past. That's why it's a piece of history and could never be removed from Wikipedia. But I've got to say, he worked according to his name and, just like Holmes' family, murdered people at the extremist level. Kelly Hopkinsville encounter. Most people believe that there's no such thing as aliens or UFOs, but this story from 1955 is believing enough that it even got featured on Wikipedia. In August 1955, near Kelly and Hopkins in Kentucky, 12 residents encountered 3 to 4 feet tall human-like creatures. They had huge pointy ears like a bat, shiny yellow-colored huge eyes, sharp nails, and tails. They were gray-colored in appearance and didn't look like anything from Earth. They further said that we tried to shoot them with a 12-barrel double-gauge and single-barrel pistols, but the bullets were harmless to them. They ran back and spent the night while hiding in their homes. Next day, they reported to the police, but there was no actual evidence of any aliens there. But it's stated as the best documented incident about aliens, and it sounds much more convincing. Even the United States Air Force declared it as a hoax. These were some of the darkest things that could be found on Wikipedia. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments so I'll bring more videos like it. Plus, I'm thinking to make a whole Wikipedia series, so let me know what your thoughts are about it. That's it from today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Do give a like and click the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get the latest updates.